Racism doesn't stop just because you light skin. And if you've been following, then you know that in my last video, or 2 videos ago at this point, I defined the difference between colorism and color-based prejudice. But before I get into it, let me introduce myself for those of you who might be new. Hey, Sunshine, I'm Dr. Donna Oriolo, sex and relationship therapist in the Washington, D.C. metro area, helping Black women feel free, fabulous, and effed. And we need to get free from that colorism shit if we're going to get to where we want to go to. But I did want to address this comment here. So this person is talking about how growing up as a light-skinned person, that people were still very racist toward them, and that white people were, selected over them for jobs and positions, et cetera, et cetera. And for this, I like to remind us that racism doesn't stop just because you're light-skinned. So you are still a person who experiences racism, but you are not a person who experiences colorism. I'm going to say that one more time because I don't want anyone to misconstrue my words. We all experience racism. A subset of us experience colorism. And you can tell whether or not you are experiencing colorism generally based on whether or not you are lighter or darker than a brown paper bag. It does not mean that you will not experience racism. So, for example, I think about Meghan Markle. And part of what she told us already was that she did not experience the world as a Black woman. And on top of that, she does not identify herself as such, right? She's identified herself as a mixed race woman or as a multiracial woman, but not as a Black woman specifically. She did not experience harm until they knew that she was Black. She even talked about how her agent didn't know whether or not she was Black. He assumed that she was a white woman with a really great tan or with really glowy skin, whatever, right? But it is upon seeing that her mom is Black that they are then classifying her as such because of the rule of hypodescent, or the 1-drop rule. That 1 drop of Black makes you Black. And if, for those who were enslaved, particularly in the United States, it was also that you follow the condition of the mother. That if the mother was enslaved, then you too would be enslaved. So where it comes to how it works on a larger scheme, it is not that light-skinned people do not experience racism or that they cannot experience racism. It's that you're not experiencing colorism. Now, where it happens, some people are talking about reverse. There is no reverse, but what I'm talking about in the reverse from a dark-skinned person to a light-skinned person is color-based prejudice. Go ahead. Let's continue this conversation. I think that some of us need a more in-depth conversation, and that happens in my Black Feelings Tuesdays at noon.